Hey everybody, I think we're live here. We're waiting. We're tweaking some stuff. We're not twerking. We're just tweaking some stuff here technically, and we're gonna get it figured out. Joe's got it over there on the side there. Let me you know what? Let me give you a little inside look at this here, real quick. There's Joe over there. Say hi, Joe. There. See, this is what the studio looks like, everybody. When you want one of these days, come on down and man, we'd love to have you. You got something, you got a business, you got something you want to promote, or you just want to come over and talk, come on over, we'll have you on. Interviews, nothing, it'll be like nothing. Ask me questions, argue with me if you want. That's okay, that's allowed, that's what we're here for. So right now Joe's gonna work it up so that we get on YouTube on the KCYP 97.7 FM out of McAllen YouTube. So that's what we're working on right now. I just wanted to pop in and let everybody know that, hey, we're ready to go. We got the old Otter in the back here, so we're gonna get some microphones that work lower so that we can not block the screen with my big beam and then the mic stand. But things are coming together, everybody. Things are coming together. Hey, Joe, where are those makeup people? I mean, we've been on almost a year now, and they still haven't come around, and I wonder why. I think they probably need too much product for me. Anyway, I save money on the hair thing. That said, we're gonna have a good show for you. I got some stuff coming up. The usual price following information and stuff. But there's some really interesting stuff that has happened in the last week, and I'll be interested in seeing some comments up there. I'm gonna read them. I got the camera closer to me now, so I can see all the comments and everybody popping in. So, like I said, right now we're waiting on the YouTube feed. So once we go into that, also on the I have two Facebook channels, one Christopher Ott and the other one is Bitcoin Otter. So I recently saw that Facebook now allows you to download, much easier to download video. Hey Sue, how you doing? Good to see you. So Facebook is now, it facilitated, it should have done this a long time ago, or maybe it didn't, I didn't know. But you can download easily. So I switched all the Bitcoin Otter shows from, well, I didn't switch them, but I added from Christopher Ott all the way to Bitcoin Otter. So it should either channel you like. We're not ramped up yet as the business would have it on the Bitcoin Otter yet, but we're working on it. Just like the studio here, it looks a lot better after the flood. I don't know if you guys remember, if you're longtime listeners or not, but man, the flood decimated this studio here with a pile of water. But man, Joe has really put his work into it. So we're coming back here. And he's got a bunch of other shows here. Joe, how many shows do you have in total here in KCYP?
4 right now.
Four shows, yeah. So those are working, man. Okay, so this is a side gig, a side hustle for Joe and me, right? But we're working it. We're working it, and we're glad to have you here with us, working it with us. That said, so with 4 shows, it's all Thursday, right, Joe?
Thursday.
So it's Thursday. Thursday's Joe's day off, but not really off, because he's doing his side hustle, the term side hustle should be very, how would you say, familiar to you if you check out the Ninja, right? The economic ninja, the real estate ninja. So I've been looking at his stuff for a while, and I think it would behoove basically all of us who would be interested in it. So, okay, we're almost ready. We're getting the countdown. Hope we don't have gas. And we're on. Hello, we're on the live KCYP 97.7 FM here out of McAllen, Texas, the McAllen Creative Incubator. Yes, so we're back, and we're loving this. So we're here on the air, we're here on Radio Garden, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook Live. And it's a lot of fun.
TuneIn Radio app as well.
TuneIn Radio app. Joe just announced something great. TuneIn Radio app. So that could probably be found on both the Windows phones and the iOS phones, Apple phones. So Lord willing, we'll have something extra, and it won't just be those two megalithic corporations at some point. But for now, we're on all those places, coming at you live, and we're loving it. This is great. So we got obviously the regular stuff for the show, but also we got some new information that comes out every week that I notice that I want to show you guys. Now, that being said, If you guys notice something, remember the email, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Okay? And I'm checking that all the time. So you got a comment, you got a question, whatever you want, just come on out with it, and I'll address it on the show. We'll talk about it, and you can even, give a call in or whatever, and we'll figure out, maybe even do a split screen, something like that. We're open to all that good stuff. So to start out the show, okay, as always, I'd like to give out great greetings, blessings, and good fortune to all the people that are tuning in right now live, and the people that are going to catch us later off of Facebook, off of YouTube, off of the apps that we've discussed. So it's Radio Garden, and what's that new one?
TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn Radio. I'm going to have to check that one. So TuneIn Radio. Awesome. So those are the places you can check us out. So we're going to start off with what we usually start off, these price tracking devices, which is basically my computer. Anyway, so gold today during show prep about an hour ago was about $1,900 and $1,920. So $1,920 for 1 ounce of gold. Silver, $23.72. Bitcoin, $23,719 for 1 Bitcoin. Okay. And as I've tracked, again, this will be the second week, and I figured this is pertinent to a lot of us who either are looking for a new home, are looking to sell our home, or are looking, for some sort of investment property. The average mortgage rate across the United States for a 30-year fixed is 6.45%. For a 15-year fixed, it's 5.67%. Okay, so it's gone down a little bit, not a lot, but when you check it out and when you look at things, you stretch it out to a year, even longer. Man, we're hurting. The real estate markets, for those of us that can't pay cash for a property, we're having to pay through the nose, if you were, and I'm sure we have other words for that, but we're paying through the nose right now for interest rates and other things, right? Gas, eggs. You know what? I didn't mention that, but this is coming out a lot in Twitter. Joe, I don't know if you heard about this, but supposedly, and I don't know that studies are out, and I suspect there are, but there are properties in eggs. I guess it's the yolk. I'm not sure. Yeah. That actually the antibodies that exist in eggs, chicken eggs specifically, apparently, they help decrease the ability of the COVID, whatever you want to call it, right? Biolab, whatever, weapon, whatever that COVID thing is. The spike proteins from the COVID are having trouble latching onto your apparatus inside your body, because at some point or another, eggs help you. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now you go ahead and extrapolate the other things about why eggs are so scarce nowadays and expensive. You go ahead and you do that if you want to go ahead and do that. Now, here's what we got for crypto news. Everybody this is a Bitcoin Otter show. We're going to have the graphics up, all that good stuff. But for now, we got the old Otter there, right? So what's going on in crypto? So this is from an actual website. If you haven't checked it out before, it's called Crypto News, cryptonews.com. Spanish police raid illegal marijuana plantation. What's marijuana got to do with crypto, Otter? Well, it could be the case. Ale, muy bien verle a usted en esta programa. Ale. So we have someone else in here. Ale. Now, we have a Spanish police raid on an illegal marijuana plantation. What does that have to do with Bitcoin, Otter? Well, here's the thing. They thought it was an illegal marijuana plantation inside of a building, apartment, whatever it was, there in Spain. And when they raided it, they found out it was a Bitcoin mining operation. Well, that's much better than marijuana. Well, some would say differently. But I will go on the record and say that Bitcoin is much better than marijuana from the Otter, right? Now, how did this happen? How did they mix up what they thought was going to be a marijuana operation, and now it's Bitcoin mining? Well, I'll read from the article real quick. Officers found the stables. So there were horse stables involved. So I guess they retrofitted stables. I would not imagine that horses are a real good investment right now. They probably cost a lot of money. They're cute. They're cuddly. You can pet them, and they're probably very nice. But I would imagine they eat a lot because they're big, right? They're big, right, Joe? Horses? Yeah, they're big. So they probably have a lot of food issues, and they probably have, you got to store them. I mean, you got to put a horse somewhere. You can't just, have it, in your living room. I suppose you could, but it wouldn't be really good. If, you're trying to watch TV or whatever. So what they did was they found modern facilities for cryptocurrency mining. Wow! They were mining cryptocurrency out of stables. Well, wonders never cease. So the equipment, the police said, has been set up to receive power via an illegal connection. Ding, 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 ding. That's why they found out about it. So there was power going to these mining rigs. How many were there? Let's see. They presumably all, well, okay, so they had 2,745 dollars worth of coins coming in, worth of Bitcoin coming in a month. Okay, so they had 21 of these things. There it is, 21 ASIC mining rigs dedicated exclusively to Bitcoin mining. Right. So the equipment, the police said, had been set up to receive via illegal connection and tap the public grid for electricity. Ladies and gents, the Otter will never teach you how to mine Bitcoin off of the public dole. No, we all have to carry our weight. Okay, we got to pay for this stuff. We have to have it. So, let's not tap into some public operation, right? Eddie, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. So we got more coming in on the space here. Well, I know we're running a little late, but hey, we'll cut the show a little bit short today. But the fact is, I'm just glad to have everybody here. Thank you. So they found out, thinking they were going to get, some sort of organization. They got Bitcoin miners. So it wasn't just Bitcoin miners, says the story here out of crypto news. Other crypto mining equipment, presumably altcoin rigs. Now, for those of you that don't remember, anything other than Bitcoin is considered an altcoin. Some are much better than others, but they're all considered altcoins for now. That might change. Anyway, so they were earning about $1,100 a month. So if we do the 2,745 and add 1,100, so now we've got $3,845 a month they're making off of an investment that the story says cost them $35,000. Okay, so let's do the math. $35,000 for all the rigs. They're making nearly $4,000 a month. Okay, so in under a year, they're going to be able to pay for that stuff, right? Wrong, because they did it illegally. And there's one other thing we're not, considering, since they stole the electricity. The electricity itself costs $2,200 a month if they were paying for it. So it cost the town, right, or whoever the company was, $2,200 a month. But they were making almost, well, let's round it. We'll go easy. We'll go 2,000 and 4,000, right? So basically half. So half of their investment per month was being recouped, right? If my math is right. So it would take a little while, but you're going to make money if you do this. It's just, do you want to do it? Do you want to put the effort into it? The more miners you get, the more Bitcoin you can receive, but it's obviously more complicated than that. Not to the point where you can never do it, but it's complicated, and we don't really have the time for it right here, right now. So let me move on. India set to, oh, whoa, we don't want to forget Dogecoin. We got a lot of Dogecoin fans out there. I know that. I personally am not a fan of Dogecoin, but a lot of people know that Elon Musk was associated with that for a while. Fast forward to Elon Musk. What is he doing? He is now trying to figure out, well, they probably have a way to figure it out, but they're going to add a payment option to Twitter. Now, I don't know if, I don't know the specific episode that we had it on, but it was probably during the Canadian trucker thing. So if you have a PayPal, if you have a Zelle or a Cash App, and let's just say you have a cause or you're supporting an effort for something that the usual suspects don't appreciate. In the case of the Canadian truckers, they were protesting draconian mandate that the communists in China laid down. They levied it down. They slammed it down on these Canadian truckers, saying either you take the experimental medical procedure called the vaccine, or you're not going to have your livelihood anymore. Naturally, they didn't like that, so they began to protest. And their form of protest, the nonviolent form, which apparently doesn't work anymore. You got to be Antifa and BLM and burn cities down, and then they really won't arrest you if you're BLM or Antifa, because that's the right kind of protest. That if you burn down 14 buildings, then CNN will call it mostly peaceful. You drive down the road with some rigs as a Canadian trucker, man, they're going to slam you. That guy Trudeau, right? What did he do? He locked up their bank accounts. So you had places like Cash or apps like Cash App. You had apps like mostly PayPal, right? They froze these people's accounts, and they took their money depending on, well, they took the truckers' money, and then they used Bitcoin, which worked for a while, but then they found the people that were organizing it, and they strong-armed them. So it wasn't, how would you say, it didn't work out the way they thought it would, but hopefully Twitter, once Elon Musk gets this going, and I know some of us think that Elon Musk is really doing a great job, and maybe he is, but there's things about his past that we have to examine. That whole thing where he wants to hook us up with the metaverse or the cloud or whatever, so that basically our soul becomes digitized or our mind becomes whatever. I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. I'm not a top-notch specimen, but I'm all natural. Okay, God made me the way He made me, for better or for worse, and many falls on the head, and hockey sticks to the jaw, things like that. Many things in my life have led up to this, right? That being said, I wanted to state this, okay? I don't want to go into no multiverse and get digitized and who knows anything about that. I don't, and I don't want to get digitized. So, here and over there, I digressed a little bit, I guess, talking about Elon Musk. But maybe he'll have something better for us in a payment app or a payment structure so that we can give and receive payments on Twitter better than, and hopefully more censorship resistant than what we have now with PayPal. They're just like they're like Gestapo. The PayPal people, they will shut you down in a minute if they think you're not woke, because you got to be woke apparently. Anyway, that being water under the bridge, as it were, Dogecoin has rallied 9% in the past 7 days, pushed up by reports that Twitter is moving ahead with its plans to introduce payments at $0.091. That's 9 cents. Okay, so Dogecoin at the writing of this was a 9-cent coin. Okay, now it rose well over 10% between Monday and Tuesday, with the coin also up by 30% in the last 30 days, which is pretty good if you're into Dogecoin, which, again, I personally am not, but this is a crypto show. So if you're into it, hey, come up here on Facebook, talk to us. I know we're on YouTube. I don't know if Joe can get comments. Joe, can you get comments on YouTube?
Yes, we can get comments.
Okay, yeah.
And on Facebook as well.
Okay, YouTube and Facebook on the KCYP Facebook page. He just tagged in. I saw that on the screen here. So if you have that, go ahead and watch on those also. So a little bit about what happened there. Apparently, Dogecoin was connected somehow to Elon Musk, and I think he pumped it or dumped it or did both, whatever he did. But apparently people are realizing that, hey, if there's going to be some sort of payment package included with Twitter, then maybe since he was associated with Dogecoin before, that it'll be incorporated also. I don't know if they're going to have some sort of crypto payment portals. I don't know. I don't know how it is. We'll keep you updated on that. Now, as I was going through my notes, sometimes I go back and I look at previous notes and shows, and this time I just happened to go to the very first show. I think it was March. It was the end of March of 2021. So we're coming on a year, and we'll have to come up with some celebration or something like that, Joe. A year, what do you call it? Celebration of Bitcoin Otter here at KCYP 97.7 FM. here in McAllen. So we'll figure out something. We'll go with something on that. But I was looking at it, and this is basically how Bitcoin Otter came about. For those of you who have might be new to the show, right? So the purpose of Bitcoin is that I'm here to assist the common individual to escape bad government decisions. Okay? See, government makes decisions, and then we live with them. I don't know that government has made many good decisions recently. It would really take me a lot of thought, and you guys probably don't want to be here for a week or two. So what I would say is, as a general and almost overwhelming fact, that government makes bad decisions, and then we live with the results. So what am I here for? I'm here to help the average person who wants to tune in, wants to listen, wants to connect with me. I'm trying to help them figure out how it is that they can avoid whatever bad ramifications come from bad government decisions, because we all have to live under a government. So how do you govern yourself, your family, your financial situation, so that you can avoid the nastiness that's coming from these bad government decisions? That's one of the factors that went into it. So another one is I can help you basically level out the learning curve when it comes to Bitcoin, because I had to go through a learning curve. It's not very difficult, but it's also it's not easy for us to pick up compared to other things we've been doing for our whole life. So that being said, I can help you smooth out that learning curve. I can teach you quickly. Okay, so my business as Bitcoin Otter is connecting people to the cryptoverse, especially Bitcoin. I'll show you how to do it. I'll hand walk you through it. It'll be easier, a lot easier than you think, basically. So how do you contact me? Well, you can contact me via my business phone, 737-256-9339. Bitcoin Otter, 737-256-9339. Please leave a text, okay, if I can't answer. Second one is bitcoinotter.com, okay? I've got a Calendly there where you can put your chosen appointment time there. You can basically make an appointment with me, right, on that app that's on the website. The third one is bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, okay? Send me an email. We'll get together. No problem. So that being said, what I intend to do, okay, is I intend to tailor learning from me to you in the simplest form possible, and I can usually pick up fairly quickly the learning style that most people have. Because it's not easy for one person who learns in one way to teach another person. I'm not the easiest person to learn things myself. So I've studied the whole aspect of, hey, how do people learn? So I can help you with that based on, some people learn audio, some people learn, the written word, some people learn by example. All those things we can incorporate it. I'll help you out in any way you need, right? So going back to the news, India set to crank up coal power to meet soaring demand. Whoa, wow, Klaus would not like that. Uncle Klaus from the World Economic Forum, right? Those jackbooted thugs, they want to put us to where we can't even have a gas stove, Joe. They don't even want us to have a gas stove, man, because Uncle Klaus wants to do things his way. However, India seems to be setting that back by cranking up coal power. So, here from the article at Zero Hedge, good place for it. The government of India, where coal still generates about 70% of electricity, woo, wow, plans to use an emergency law to have more coal-fired power generate. Wow, this has got to be driving. What's her name? Greta Thunberg, right? She's got to be going crazy if she even cares about this stuff. I have my suspicions that she doesn't really. It's just that unfortunately she's been mind warped by the people who, her parents first of all, and second of all, people who are taking advantage of her for monetary gain. That said, the coal phase out in India, because they want to phase out coal everywhere because it's a fossil fuel and it's carbon dioxide. Hey Joe, what eats carbon dioxide? What do you know what eats plants? Do you think we need plants to live, Joe? Do you think it'd be good to have trees and stuff? You think it'd be good to have trees and stuff? Why would it be good to have trees and stuff? Well, because we breathe what they put out. Listen, everybody, this is a scam. Please, if you have anything that you want to tell me, oh, but Otter, you don't know this, you don't know that, the rainforest, the icebergs, the polar bears, whatever concerns you have, I would be more than happy to address them. But please, those of you that are on the fence or know that it's a big fat scam. It's fat as the people who have invented it because they're very fat on our money that they rob every single day and every minute of our lives. It's a scam, okay? And they want to put us in some dark corner or just kill us outright, okay? They don't want us around, and they certainly don't want us using what they consider their resources. So India's cranking up the coal, all the power to them, right? So according to this spokesman here with the Indian thing, he says it's going to take 2 to 3 decades, way longer than these jackbooted thugs at the World Economic Forum would allow. But, at some point or another, we're not going to do what they allow, right? We're going to do what is best for our God, our country, our family, ourselves. We are going to do things that are right, not things that we are ordered to do because it puts money in somebody else's bank account. We're not going to do that. Now, massive peer-reviewed mask study shows little to no difference in preventing COVID. In case you didn't know, masks don't work. Now, most of us knew that right away. Some of us need evidence. Hence, I am citing this study. So it was published in the peer-reviewed Cochrane database of systematic reviews, and it is the strongest science to date refuting the basis for mask mandates worldwide. Sorry about that. Now, of course, the CDC still recommends masking. Wow, they recommend masking, right? So there are 4% of U.S. counties, 4% of U.S. counties that are considered high as far as COVID rates go, and sometimes they even want us to mask outside. Anyway, enough with that. If you wanted proof, look at the peer-reviewed Cochrane database systematic reviews, and you can find a peer-reviewed study on how masks don't work, which you probably already knew. Anyway, this is from the Gateway Pundit, okay? We're rolling along. I know we're running a little late today. Let me do a quick review, as Joe has always taught me, right? We came in a little bit late. However, we're running pretty smooth. So we're saying basically that we got gold at 1920, silver at 2372, and Bitcoin at 23.7, almost $24,000 for a Bitcoin. Spanish police raided an illegal marijuana plantation, and what did they find? Bitcoin mining operation. Okay. Then we had Dogecoin rising, and India is cranking up the coal. Then we found out once again that masks don't work. And now this one from the Gateway Pundit. This tells you all you need to know. Satanic Temple announces launch of clinic to provide religious abortions in New Mexico. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever had that feeling or perhaps a spark of wonderment in your mind that in any way, shape, or form the murdering of babies could be satanic or seem to be so, now you have proof. So this satanic church in Salem, of all places, right? Salem, Massachusetts. They love Satan there. He's just their guy. So the Satanic Temple announces the launch of its first reproductive health clinic. Health, Joe. Health. They're there for your health, Joe. They're in Salem at the Satanic Temple. Oh, wait, this comes from Salem. I'm sorry, the article comes from Salem. These people, the Satanic Temple is in New Mexico. My bad. So TST, wow, whatever that is, the Satanic Temple's Religious Medical Services arm. Wow, they're pretty organized, Joe. Those Satanists, they've got, hey, Brian, good to see you. Good to see you up there, Brian. So these Satanists out in New Mexico have what's called the Satanic Temple's Religious Medical Services arm. Wow. So they've got these medical services in the Satanic Church, and uh, you would think that the Satanist Church would love death and stuff, and I'm sure it does. But apparently, they have a medical services arm. Maybe that's to bring you closer to their boss, faster. I don't know. You're gonna have to look that up yourself. Now, this religious medical services arm of the Satanic Temple there in New Mexico will provide telehealth screening. Well, at least they don't want you to go over there. Who knows what's going to happen if you went over there? But you can do it from the comfort of your own home, Joe. You can learn health from Satanists from the comfort of your own home. Now, they'll give you a screening, and they'll set appointments, and they'll prescribe abortion medication for its patients. All this from the Satanic Temple, who loves abortion. Okay, let's move on to some more cheerful things, like Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's Metabiota, right? That's his Metabiota Labs, right? That's his well, it's not his, but that's the one that bought him. So Metabiota Labs received tens of millions of dollars in DOD contracts. For those of you that are not initiated in the whole military thing, DOD is Department of Defense. Yeah. So DOD has just been spending like crazy on this whole Ukraine scandal thing, and we know they would never do anything illegal or sideways, would they? So the DOD was spending millions there. They awarded. Oh, I'm sorry, they awarded. They didn't spend it, Joe. They didn't spend your tax money. They only awarded it. So rest easy. Tens of millions of dollars in contracts to Hunter Biden's Metabiota Labs. Wow. So Metabiota is a San Francisco-based, that says a lot too, health startup known for tracking epidemics. Wow, that was a pretty healthy epidemic we had, wasn't it, Joe? Since 2020, that was wow. I mean, if you're going to be healthy about your epidemics, you might as well hook up with Metabiota. Just saying. Give the big guy 10%. Do whatever you got to do. But you and I know that you can have a healthy epidemic since 2020. Yes. Now, the company is mentioned on the Hunter Biden laptop. Well, what isn't mentioned in the criminal world on the Hunter Biden laptop? Not much. Hunter Biden's investment firm, Rosemont Seneca. Hey, Joe, do you think that a crack smoker who has child porn on his thing, you think he'd be a good businessman? You wouldn't think he'd be a good businessman, would you? Now, he's got I've got it in my notes. Proof, right? Proof, my notes. Proof. Metabiota Labs, I mean, they own him. That's his. It's, whatever. Supported by the DOD. He's got that going on. Tens of millions of dollars thrown through that. Then he's got this, it says Hunter Biden's investment firm, Rosemont Seneca. Wow, this guy's a mover and a shaker and a pedophile. Anyway, he invested $500,000 in Metabiota. And the company went on to raise several million more from investment giants like Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is in on this too. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that there aren't huge worldwide plots going on to make you and me a little less relevant, then don't use me for proof. Don't use whatever I'm telling you for proof. Look it up. You can check it out. Do it for yourself if you care about it. But man, the evidence is there. Just check it out. Anyway, Russia claims, as a side note, Russia claims it has 20,000 biolab documents. Okay? What do they mean? Well, as many of us know, the Pentagon admitted to having 46 biowarfare, well, they don't call them warfare. They say biolabs in Ukraine. The DOD. Biolabs. Ukraine. Are you starting to make the connection, everybody? Are you starting to figure out why the Russians went in to Ukraine and why you have knuckleheads out there that watch too much TV that have the Ukrainian sign on their Twitter tag? Okay? Biolabs. So now the Russians, okay, it's going to be propaganda according to a certain party in our government. According to them, everything from Russia is propaganda. Nothing from the mainstream media is in any way, shape, or form propaganda, according to them. However, the Russians claim 20,000 biolab documents from Ukraine. So the Pentagon admits to 46, which means probably double. And there's probably a ton of documentation. And it says, well, the Russians claim to have some. We'll see. Let's look at that and we'll find it out, find out what they have there. Breaking: FBI searching Biden's Rehoboth beach home. Rehoboth, that sounds weird. Anyway, beach home 3 months after initial raid on Penn Biden Center. Okay, here's some questions we want to ask. There's a raid on a president's home. We had a raid on a former president's home. So they should be exactly the same, right, Joe? They should be exactly. So what we're going to expect on the Biden's home is we're going to expect lights. We're going to expect sirens. We're going to expect helicopters, 24/7 coverage. We're going to see, automatic weapons with the FBI stooges out front. Did I say stooge? Agents out front. So they're going to be out front, right? Hopefully indexing their weapons so they're not about to shoot a bystander, some baby in a crib or one of those strollers going by, Anyway, we saw all that with the Mar-a-Lago, Trump's home, the former President Trump. Former, maybe? Former, maybe? Anyway, so we saw all that. So we're going to see all that in the Biden raid, right? No. And why don't we see this from the Biden raid? I'll tell you why. And here's what the mainstream media, let me go with what they want you to believe, first of all. They want you to believe that since Joe is cooperating, those type of Neanderthal tactics are not necessary. That's what they're claiming, right? We all know that's a bunch of bunk, okay? If we want to use a technical term, bunk, right? No way. They do it because, well, this is all their agenda. This is their narrative. They're running this show. That's just the way it is. So what we have here is a statement that says, today, with the president's full support and cooperation, the DOJ is conducting a planned search of his home in Rehoboth, Delaware. Okay? So they're using the fact that he's cooperating, which I don't think Joe can even cooperate with his bowels, much less cooperate with some sort of raid on any one of his properties that he can't remember where they're at. That being said, the reason why Donald Trump did what he did is to force them into going a legal route. So it went all the way, well, let's take his taxes, for example, all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump had to show his taxes, which he had no problem showing because there was nothing there to incriminate him, which the truth of which came out when the people who persecuted him, actually, they looked at him and they're like, they just threw him out. They sent him out to the internet, and everybody looked at him and they're like, there's nothing there. Anyway, the reason why he forced it, the reason why he resisted, the reason why he didn't cooperate was so that he could have a legal precedent. So now there's a legal precedent for these things, okay? So there's a legal precedent for when you want to raid someone's, a president, you want to raid his place, there's a legal precedent. Now, what does that show in the case of how they did this with Joe? It shows that they're not playing by the same set of rules. You and I have to abide by certain sets of rules, and the people that make these rules, okay, the ones that took over the government, okay, in 2020, they have their rules for them, and your rules are much different. And if you don't follow them, well, you might be like those people from January 6th in solitary confinement for a couple of years. Now, we're coming to the end of the show, ladies and gents. We're nearing it. We're a little bit past the hour, if you will. But I just want to close with this two things. And the first one's a little bit of bad news. I'm not into doom porn or anything like that. But I just want to let you know that this headline reads, under the radar economic indicators are flashing warning signs not seen since 2008 and before. Okay, so what the mainstream media is not telling you is we're heading headlong into a depression. We're already in a recession. They're of course denying this, but what's going to happen is in a few months they're going to say, hey, we got the reports back, and won't you know, for the last year we were in a repression. We were in a some sort of economic regression, which we all knew. We all knew this was happening, and we know it now. But it's going to be much worse. And when the wheels finally fall off the cart, they're not going to tell you. You're not going to get a warning. No news show is going to come on and say, hey, everybody, get your stuff in order. We're going to do this, that, or no. That's up to us. Okay? That's up to us. So these indicators, economic indicators, haven't been around for a while. So they're pumping certain indicators but hiding others. So they're saying that the GDP went up by 2.9%. Okay, but what also happened was that Americans' disposable income decreased the most in 2022 since 1932. Disposable income. What does that mean? It means we're not buying food with that income. We're not paying bills with that income. It's stuff that we like to do. Can I say the word? Fun. You want to have fun. You don't just want to live. You don't just want to work and pay bills, which Uncle Klaus from the World Economic Forum wants us to do. Work, pay bills, and eat bugs. That's what the World Economic Forum is all about. Well, we want a little bit of fun. So our disposable money takes care of that. I should say disposable cash, right? So it's down in 2022, the most since 1932 in the Depression, ladies and gentlemen. All that to say, don't be afraid. I'm not trying to peddle fear or anything like that. I'm just saying, let's be prepared. Let's prepare. Okay? If you got a chance to buy some extra food, canned goods, or whatever, buy them. Throw them in some, spare room you have in the house or under the bed, wherever you can fit them, right? Be prepared, right? Money. Well, maybe not buy all those, things you want to go out and buy. Maybe if you're looking at a new car, new house, maybe you wait for a little while. See how things go economically. Perhaps. This is just me. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. I can't give any advice legally, and I don't want to give any advice legally. What I would like to do is hopefully help you to open your eyes, look around, and see for yourself what's going on. And again, you can email me, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I can help you out. I can point you to websites, point you to podcasts, things like that. So one more thing is cardboard boxes. Wow, what's that about? Well, cardboard box manufacturing is way down. What does that mean? Well, retail's down. So it's down, check out the story on Gateway Pundit. It's down markedly, very much. And it basically means that people are buying less. I think personally that's smart. We have so much stuff. I know we have stuff in our house that you look at, or your apartment, and you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, I don't need this. What I remember buying it, or maybe I don't even remember buying it. Maybe I don't need it. So one of the things that Economic Ninja, again, check him out. He's good. One of the things that he recommends is have a garage sale, whatever, and then you can invest the proceeds from that in whatever solid investment you want, right? Gold, silver, Bitcoin, whatever. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I don't want to scare anyone. I'm just saying we're coming in some times. Part of the reason why I have this show is to help people prepare for what it is that's coming in the future. And I want to tell you also, there is light at the end of the tunnel. My belief is, and maybe I'll do a whole show on this, Joe. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this one of these days. Why I believe there's light at the end of the tunnel. I do believe that. I believe that we will come into, and I don't know how soon. I don't want to make dates. I believe we will come into a time period in which the amount of freedom we have, people my age have never lived it before. We've never lived the amount of freedom that I believe to be coming up soon. Soon meaning year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. I believe that the level of control that the people that currently control the machinations around the world will lessen, and it's going to be broken. So I want to leave you on that note. I believe there's light at the end of the tunnel. I believe we're going to have unprecedented freedom. We're just going to have to go through some rough spots first, and that's why I'm here to help you open the eyes, look around, where to look, how to look, and how to process it to prepare you and your family for survival, basically, and financial survival, because we want to have money at the end of this, right? So all that to say, thank you very much. We're going to close out the show. God bless you all. God bless your families. God bless your ability to earn for your families. And on that, I will say goodbye. Have a great day. Until next week. Otter's out.